I think that when you boil it down to what it's going to be, it's a matter of winning the game. If we win, there's a fairly decent chance that we will get through to the last 16. And 4 points out of the group, if we can achieve that, would be terrific for us. So players know what they have to do, and they're ready for it. We know we have to, at the end of it, we have to be in front in the match, and it's a case of being very, very strong to begin with. I think we have to be. I think we have to be fresh, alert, all of those particular things. I think we have to play the game with a lot of energy, and just be mindful of how decent the Italians are, but just be also mindful ourselves of what we can do, what we achieved against Sweden, without eventually getting the 3 points, and take that sort of performance into consideration when you're thinking about the game. John didn't train when you were there, and he didn't join in with the team afterwards. So I would have to say that he would be very doubtful for the game, and I don't think I think that if you're talking about different type of system, I have no problem with that whatsoever, none at all. I think and neither do the players. I think that while some things that you haven't practiced as much as others, I think players are pretty adept these days at club level. If you're talking about certain systems that they would play, and a lot of them come to international games playing totally different systems with their clubs, so they're pretty well used to systems, if that's what you're talking about. So again, I wouldn't have a problem with that there if I thought that this is the way to try and win the game. And I think there's good confidence about the team that they can win the game. Obviously, they have to fight for everything. We'll try and cut out the mistakes that we made against Belgium, being knocked back on the counter a couple of times by a very, very strong side who are actually very good in the counter themselves. So that type of thing, not to be caught out when you're attacking. And but again, I emphasise the players are ready for it. I think they're going to go for it.
Do you know that the coach of Italian team changed 9 players for tomorrow? Will change.
Well, I didn't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised for a number of reasons. Number one, Italy have qualified, and they will, regardless of the result, they will finish top of the group. 2, they have a number of players on yellow cards that they wouldn't want to, very, very important players for them, as are all the 23, of course. And 3, this is tournament football, and I think possibly no one would know better than the Italians what it would be like to give some players who have played 2 games in 3 or 4 days a rest when it's possible. And sometimes it isn't possible to do that if you think that you have a certain number of players that you're relying on. And but all of those things, it wouldn't surprise me if he did that, because I think that's what most coaches would do in the position that they're in. We mentioned earlier here how you approach the game. I think first of all I have to take into consideration the fitness and the freshness of the players who have played a lot for us at this minute. I have to consider that energy is very, very important to the team, really is important for it. Also, eventually, I totally agree with you, you need creativity in the team as well too. We've got a number of players who are capable of going past players, and I take all of that into consideration. I think the game, we don't want the game to run away from us early on. I'm sure that it won't. I think that we can be very strong. I just think that we have to try and get back the momentum that we had from the Swedish game, and the chances that we created in the match. We might just have to take 1 or 2 more. Italy, regardless of the changes in the team, will be very dangerous because they're Italy. And the players that are coming into the squad actually come from Roma, AC Milan, big places. So these players are top quality players, and we have to be ready for that, and we think that we are. I think that we've got our own recent memories ourselves to inspire us, none more so than the night in October time when we beat the world champions. You know, when you say it like that, there it just seems to disappear into the ether. But we beat the world champions in a night that we had to win, and that's extraordinary result. I mean, weren't a normal side. These are the team that had just 18 months earlier, whatever it was, had gone to Brazil and won the World Cup. So that was a great moment for us. I said that was inspirational enough for us to go and beat Bosnia over the 2 games in the playoff matches. I think that's where we drew the inspiration from, and I think that we don't have to go back to '94. I think we can just draw on that recent one because it's the set of players that did it. We have to be really positive in the game, and I thought that we started off rather tentatively against Belgium, and we felt we gave away the ball rather too easily, and which was a disappointment coming on the back of such a really brilliant performance against Sweden. So we want to get back to that. We feel as if we're capable of doing that, and to start on the front foot rather than the back foot. And I think everything else will fall into place if we can do that. If we get the confidence up early in the game by doing the right thing.